This is Mrs. Wilcoskis in the library. It is November 16th, 2015. And this video is for Briscoe's World History class and how to find resources for the Atlantic slave trade. Okay, I think most of you kids know where the world history path or where the pathfinders are. Specifically, this one's the world history. Drop down on Pathfinder and you'll get different databases and basically different resources that we think that world history resources would be found in. And for this research topic, I'm finding things in here, ABC Clio JSTOR and World History in Context. And also the ebooks. I think one's EBSCO, one's ABC Clio. I forget what the other one's called here. Sorry, you can't see the icons. But I'm going to show you how to search all of them at one time. So we're going to come up here and go to Discovery Search. Okay, a discovery search searches not just our databases, but also our catalog search too, which would be our print resources and even a few ebooks that are in our print resources catalog or in our typical catalog. So we're going to start here, and I'm going to type in the words that I started with whenever I just started looking into this Atlantic slave trade. Okay, so it's going to search everything at one time, or most things at one time. And on some of my bigger topics, the very common topics, I'm going to get something called a research starter. And these are great because it's a place to start. It's like a Wikipedia entry, and you can click here and you can cite it, even though it's kind of like a Wikipedia entry. You can cite it. So come over here, grab your citation. You'll probably need author date, I think is what you guys use for Chicago Turabian, but you have to check with your teacher on what they want for citation. But anyway, this is going to give you background information on the Atlantic slave trade. And if you come over here, it's pretty small right now, but these are different topics, related topics. So if there's something that you find of interest to you, you can click through and it'll take you to yet another resource. But this is a great place to start. Okay, a couple other terms that I found. I kept thinking of triangular trade. I had learned that somewhere else, but as I looked into this, they call it the Atlantic triangular slave trade. Okay. And when you do that, you get other resources that might give you some more information about the triangular slave trade. And I should have gotten some good images for you. I'll see if I can find some in a different video. But it's the trade routes that were shaped like a triangle, and it just gives a different viewpoint on this topic. And it involves more than America. It involves South America and the Barbados and a lot of the islands. It's very interesting. Okay, so let's say you've done some of your background research and you know what you want to look for. So you would start going into some of these resources and start looking for topics. Okay, but you can start here, but you can also even do, if you just type in other search terms, you're going to get even more research starters. Okay, slavery actually goes back for millennia, so this won't be focused on America, but you will get some background information. Let's go back. Let's go back to Atlantic slave trade. And we're going to pull up a book. I'm just going to pull up an ebook right here because I want to show you how to search in an ebook. It makes it infinitely easier than you trying to use your table of contents. So I'm going to come over here. If you'll notice here, it says unlimited user access. That means multiple people can research it at one time. I'm going to click PDF full text. Okay, and right here is the table of contents. So you can click and you can see the basic topics that are going to be covered here. For some reason, I should have checked with this resource, but I didn't. But I'm going to give it a try. I find William Wilberforce an interesting fellow. He wrote Amazing Grace. He was a abolitionist in Great Britain. He was good friends with William Pitt, which was like the youngest prime minister. He was prime minister at like 24. Wilberforce. Let me see if he's even in this book. Okay, William Wilberforce is in this book. So if I wanted to do something about William Wilberforce, because I find him very interesting, this is how I would start. I wasn't sure if I'd find something, but you can see he's running all through this book. And it's, if you see, they're all about in page 75, 78, 91. So I'm going to come back to my table of contents. Oh, sometimes I'm going to see which chapter that is in. It's probably the abolitionist campaigns. And I'm just going to read that section. Once I find where my location is, I probably don't want to just go to that page. You could do that. Click this. I'm going to take myself to that page. But oftentimes you need to get like before information and after information. So I'd come back and read that chapter. So let me encourage you to use your ebooks that way. When you find something you like, you can go to add a folder, and add to a folder will allow you to add this into an EBSCO folder. You have to sign in and make an account, but every time you sign in, you can pull up all your other resources that way that you've saved into that folder. You can save pages, you can email pages, you can cite like this. Permalinks is a permanent document. You can even email it to somebody if you run across something and you're working in a group, or you know that they're working on a different idea. You could grab information that way. I'm going to stop this video now and we'll go into part 2 so that these videos aren't too long.